This program is brought to you by thepodcastfactory.com.
Hi, my name is Igor Kheifets, and this is the List Building Lifestyle, the only podcast which delivers cutting-edge conversion strategies from the online trenches straight to your earbuds. Download the transcript of today's episode and all future episodes at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com. I also invite you to grab a free copy of the Wealthy List Builder Survival Guide at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com/survival. And now, once again, it's time to claim your list building lifestyle. Welcome back to another edition of the List Building Lifestyle with your host, Igor Kheifets. Imagine what it's like if you're 12 years old and everything you know, the world you live in, is suddenly taken away from you. You see, just before I turned 12, my family packed their suitcases, put me on a bus, then put me on a plane, and then 5 hours later or so, I'm in a cab driving to the hometown where I live today to start a brand new life from a clean slate. I don't know the language, I don't have any friends, I have no clue what's going on or why we moved, and it's just, that's pretty much how life is at that point. Now, it was a really scary transition for me because I wasn't even sure that I will be accepted. I was really missing my friends, and the last memory I have of Ukraine is when the bus was leaving our neighborhood and all the kids, since, they didn't see too many, really advanced, technology advanced buses at the time, when everybody was kind of running after the bus and waving their hand, and I was kind of looking at them and knowing that this is the last time I'll ever see them. Having to start all over in a brand new society. When I went to school and I realized that I don't know the language and that I wasn't hip, I did not understand what these kids were talking about. I wasn't aware of all the cool things that were going on. They were talking about Pokemons and stuff like that. Back in Ukraine, we did not have that. And we were still, watching Disney movies with Mickey Mouse at the time. And I had really, I realized I was so behind that I didn't even think I'll make any friends whatsoever. And for the first year, that's exactly what happened. I was only hanging out with the Russian kids because we had something in common, to talk about. But even then, they were so Israelis, because they grew up in Israel and I didn't, that I still felt this insane gap in the acceptance. I was constantly trying, seeking approval, and didn't really have too many friends or too many acquaintances that I felt were strong enough for me to really say, okay, that's my new best friend. Now, at the same time, there was another kid that immigrated right with us, pretty much in the same month. His family arrived here. His name was Pavel, and this kid, he had an advantage. He had a huge advantage, which he didn't even realize. He was a great soccer player, amazing soccer player. And as soon as, his family immigrated, all of a sudden, a week later, he's got all these friends. And I didn't understand it. How come he's got friends and I don't? How come he's accepted and I'm still seeking approval? How come, people call him to come out, other kids just, want to hang out with him, and nobody wanted to hang out with me? And looking back on it right now, having this understanding of human psychology and social dynamics, I realized that Pavel had something going on for him, which is his superpower, the soccer, right? He was a great soccer player, and naturally other kids gave him the approval and put him on a pedestal simply because he was superior to them in some way, in this really vivid, obvious way. So now looking back on the beginning of my internet marketing, quote-unquote, career, right, on my way, as I was kind of making my way up the ladder, wanting to be on that pedestal, on the marketing pedestal. I realize now that a big reason why for the first couple of years nothing really happened, even when I was copying the gurus to a T, I was literally copy-pasting everything the gurus were doing, even to a point of even saying the exact same things in my videos, saying the exact same things in my emails, but nothing would work. And that is, in a big way, not the only way, but in a big way, it had to do with the fact that I did not have any visible and obvious superpower that I could pretty much fall back on at any time. And when I realized that Frank Kern had the list building or email marketing superpower, that Dan Kennedy was the renegade millionaire that breaks paradigms, that Jeff Walker, he was the launch formula guy, that Mike Filsaime was the software guy, that Eben Pagan was the high level hiring and firing people guy, that Dan Sullivan was the strategic guy, and so on and so forth. I realized that everybody was a guy, right? And so I ended up realizing that I needed to become a guy as well. I needed superpower. I needed something to be known for, something that people would recognize me for and say, oh, Igor, well, he's that guy. He's the X guy. And so eventually, as you know, I became the solo guy. But on my way to becoming the solo guy, I attempted becoming many different things. The WordPress guy, the blogging guy, and a few other methods that didn't work for me personally, but I was proactively looking for my superpower, and the moment I developed it, things got so much easier because I could always fall back on the superpower, and automatically, by being known for this one thing, I've now had people give me approval without me even seeking it because I was an expert at something. So right now, if you are in a position where you're still seeking approval from your prospects, then you got to start thinking about what kind of superpower do you want to develop. For instance, an amazing top earner, a good friend of mine, fellow Russian who lives in America, Alex Zuber, right? He's known as the paid traffic guy. So he's built organizations of extreme sizes and made a ton of money across several different companies. I know just what I know is, Digital Altitude. He's a top earner with them. Empower Network, he made a killing with them, and a bunch of others. So he's known as the traffic guy, the top producing media buyer guy. He's basically somebody who is known for his ability to buy advertising and convert the advertising into signups and recruiting people from the paid advertising. That's his thing. Now, at the same time, another friend of mine, Lori Petrosino, who is also an amazing recruiter, she is known for her ability to recruit people on Facebook, and not with Facebook ads. She's known for her ability to recruit people through Facebook connection and communication. That's what she's doing. Like, she doesn't even spend money on paid advertising, or at least not as much as most people think. She's mostly recruiting people for free by networking with them. Same thing for a good friend of mine, Pam Peebles. I used to work with her a couple of years back, and Pam, that's exactly what she's done too. Just like Lori, she just recruited people off of Facebook, and she's been known for that. Same thing for a friend of mine, Chiara Frenchica, who's also a top earner with Digital Altitude. She's known for her Facebook presence as well, but she's also good on webinars too. Like, that's not a superpower of hers that most people aren't really aware of, that, she's really good on webinars and she's doing them actively, etc. So here's my point. Whatever the skill, whatever you feel you're good at right now, whatever you feel may become your superpower, you got to start proactively developing it and make sure that the marketplace understands that this is your superpower, because the moment you have one, that is the moment that people start gaining respect for you. That is the moment that they start giving you approval. That is the moment when they start asking themselves the question, should I work with this person? Because they seem like they know their stuff when it comes to X. So whatever that superpower may be for you, it could be list building, it could be copywriting, it could be email marketing, like it is for my good friend Ben Settle, as well as myself. It could be podcasting, like it is with my co-host, producer Jonathan. It could be many different things, but you only need one, and you can outsource pretty much everything else. But you want the marketplace to know you for that one skill that is going to make you famous, and that is going to allow people to say, oh, now I have a reason to reach out to this person and see if I should work with them, because they stand out, because they are really good at that one thing that I want to master, or that I want to get good at as well. So that's not a wrap for the List Building Lifestyle. We'll be in your earbuds next time. Thank you for listening to the List Building Lifestyle. Make sure to subscribe on iTunes or Google Play to never miss an episode. Because who knows, just one conversion tactic we share on the show might double your list and double your business. Download the transcript of today's episode and all future episodes at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com. And don't forget to claim your complimentary copy of the Wealthy List Builder Survival Guide at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com/survival. This is Igor Kheifets, and until next time we talk, have a good one.
This is the podcastfactory.com.